What's good? It's Damien. I'm back with my tea of the day. What's going on? Welcome to season 2, episode 6. It's been a little while. Just been, working, trying to keep busy. So let's get into it. There's been lots of conversations about being equally yoked and finding someone who we can be equal with. And how oftentimes, from what B. Simone said, oftentimes women look for a man who they require or they need XYZ from, but they're not even half of that. And it's the sad truth. And it's not just women though, it's men as well. It's like a double standard per se. Like, we want this to be required, so this is a preference, which all kind of fits in the same category in a way. But I definitely feel like we always want what we can't have, or we want something that we feel like we have to have, but we don't need to be. Like, you can't ask for someone to have a job and you don't have a job. It doesn't make sense. That's not going to help any of y'all. You can't ask for someone to be a family person and you don't speak to your family. How does that work? How do you want something that you don't even feel like you need to be? You need to work on you before you ask or require anything in any relationship that you have. Like, you can't have or ask for someone to make 6 figures and you don't even make a figure. How does that work? So they're supposed to take care of you, so how's that helping them? Oh, I forgot. It wasn't about them, it's about you. It's about you being selfish. Copy. Like, you can't ask or require someone to be fit, have a 6-pack, have the V-line, and you're overweight, you're reaching obesity, or you're thick, or you're chunky, you have a stomach, you have XYZ, and you're far away from having a V-line. So how does that work? How do you ask for someone to have this on your list, but this is even on your list? Have you even thought of what you require, what you have to offer, what's on your table? Did you even think of, you know what, let me make a list out for me to see what I have to offer, to then ask, what do they have to offer me? It has to be a give or take. It can't just be you just receiving all of this and you're not giving a goddamn thing, because you're not equally yoked. You're not matching up. You're just two people who's going to bound to be unhappy, who's going to bound to be broken up, who's going to bound to be miserable. There's going to be resentment. There's going to be a lot of stuff there because you're asking for something that you're not. And I say that to say this. It's all about accountability. When are we going to be accountable for our actions, accountable for our well-being, accountable for our happiness, accountable for our own list, accountable for our own needs? Once we get accountable, we get real clear about what we need and what we ultimately desire. Have you ever asked, what do I desire? I don't think so. But once we get real crystal clear about what we desire, what we need, in terms of a relationship, any relationship, it has to start with us. We have to become accountable for our actions. We have to become accountable for who we hurt in the midst of our past, our traumas. We have to become accountable of the traumas that we had, the experiences that we had, never to dismiss our experiences, but show light to them. Give them breath, give them feeling, give them empathy, give them compassion, give them a heart. And then you deal with those experiences. So then when you are looking for that person on that list, you have something to offer besides being cold-hearted, besides being just ugly inside. Besides having so much baggage that you can't even carry, but you expect someone else to carry it. No. Like, the saying, hurt people is so motherfucking true. Because it's sad, and oftentimes, or a lot of times, we don't even realize that we are hurt. We do need time. We do need pain. We do need, like, a hug. But we don't allow ourselves to get there. We just mask it with material things. We mask it with another relationship. We mask it with drugs and alcohol, sex. We just mask it with many different things to preoccupy our time instead of really digging deep into the root causes and finding that sometimes it's us. Sometimes we're just fucked up. We are just completely and utterly human. And it is okay to show your scars. It is okay to show your vulnerability. Because if you don't, then how are you really breathing? How are you really living? If there's no accountability for your actions. We always want to keep everyone else accountable for how they treat us. But we never want to take into consideration and accountability for how we treat them. How we allow what they did to us affect us. Because regardlessly, whether you like it or not, that power that they're giving, we're allowing them to give it to us. We're accepting it. We're accepting of your disrespect. We're accepting of the insecurities that we have. And that's why we get mad. That's why we get upset. That's why we get angry. Because we felt like they can fix us. We get upset when they disappoint us, but we're allowing them to disappoint us. Because we're putting so much faith into that one person or to those people that it's us. And we make up these unattainable ideas and these unattainable things that we want people to be. Because psychologically, you don't even know what you really want. You don't even know what you really desire. So how are we really creating these lists off of merit and off of respect and off of just realness if we don't even know what we want? We have this fiction of what a person that we're supposed to date, a partner or a spouse, a woman or man, is supposed to be and supposed to have. Because this is what we were brought up to believe, or this is what I've experienced in the past. But maybe sometimes your list that you had in the past is just that, in the past. Maybe if those relationships didn't work, first time maybe it's them. Second time maybe it is them. Third failed relationship, maybe it's you. Maybe you need to do some soul seeking. Maybe you really need to take some time off, relax, really just start dating yourself, understanding who you are. Because in different chapters in your life, you will grow. You will be a different person than what you was before. And you need to tap into that. You need to identify that. Because if you don't, then you're not growing. You're stunting your growth. Then you're in an unhappy relationship. You don't know why. Because of a list that you thought that you wanted. That you felt that you wanted. That society told you, this is the man that you're supposed to have. This is the man that you were supposed to require to gain respect. But are you even respecting yourself for even allowing you to even be unhappy? For you to dream of an imaginary person that's never going to be everything on your list. You have to be real. You have to be real respectful. You have to be real awake, woke for these things that you're looking for. Especially at particular ages in your life. Especially at particular chapters in your life. What you wanted at 22, hopefully is not what you wanted at 25. Hopefully it's not what you wanted at 30. Hopefully it's not what you wanted at 32 or 35. Hopefully it's not. But if it is, then you have to check your ball. Because there's something wrong with you. And with there being something wrong with you, then you have to really dig deep and do the homework. To fix what is wrong with you. To fix your imperfections. To fix your heart. To fix your jadedness. Just to be happy. Because ultimately, that's what you want. You want to be able to be happy. To be fulfilled. Because that's what we all are looking for, fulfillment. Whether it's with a relationship, whether it's with work, whether it's just with life. We're looking for fulfillment. And once we get that, how can we maintain that? How can we soothe that in? How can we take care of that and check on that when we need to, so we can still be fulfilled, so we can still be happy? Not just, oh, I got to this point in my life and now I'm okay. But we don't even check on our feelings. We don't soothe ourselves. We don't check in and say, hey, how are you feeling today? How are you doing? What do we need to work on today? What do we need to work on next week? What is our plans so I can keep myself accountable? So when I do meet someone or when I do interact with people, it's from a different place. And not the heart place, not the victim place. Because we've all been victims. We've been raised in victimhood. From our ancestors, from slavery, just being human beings and our different experiences, but our similar experiences. But it has to come to a time where, yes, these experiences happened to me. I dealt with shitty relationships. I have horrible relationships with my family. But then we have to look at some positive, some light in there. Because you're keeping your energy the way you want to keep it. But then you have to really just figure out why these relationships are the way that they became. Yes, most of the time it could be them. Absolutely. But sometimes it has to be us. Sometimes we have to take accountability for our actions. And how that experience or those experiences hindered our growth. Hindered our happily ever after. Hindered our possibilities to look at a world with just two eyes. Stunting our growth with these common lists of what we require in a relationship. I definitely believe that preference is different than, I would say, a list, but I think it still goes hand in hand. I definitely feel like list is outdated. I do feel like you should have requirements, or you should have respect for yourself of what you will and will not take or endure in a relationship. Absolutely. But there are times where you have to compromise. You have to compromise within any relationship that you have, whether it's business, friendship, actual relationship, family relationship. Just compromising. But you just have to know what your worth is. It's always great to find your worth. It's always great to know who you are inside and out, so that no one ever can tell you who you are. Because once they tell you who you are, they got you. Liz. B. Simone, I definitely understand where she's coming from. You definitely have to be equally yoked. You definitely have to be on the same page. It would be great to have the same goals. It would be great to have the same aspirations in life. But lists are outdated. Lists are tacky at this point. It's just a feeling of what you have with that person. But it definitely is, you have to have something on for yourself. You have to have something on your table to bring to that table. If you have nothing, once you write that list, once you go through what you can bring to a relationship, and you notice that what you want out of a relationship or what you require out of a person is not matching what you can bring to that relationship or that person, then maybe you don't need to be with that person. Maybe you don't need to be with a person. Maybe you need to really just evaluate yourself. Evaluate why your requirements is so unachievable. Understanding your traumas, understanding your hurt, understanding that, yeah, I might want someone to take care of me, but I want to still be able to take care of myself. I still want to have some type of independence. I understand I grew up broke, so I never want to go back there. But that doesn't mean that I need to have, or I need to require someone who has money or millions of dollars to take care of me so I can just sit down and do nothing. Because who are they helping? Ultimately, at the end of the day, because when that person gets tired of paying for you, then what? what happens then? Then the relationship ended and you're still in the same predicament that you was in? I'm just trying to understand. Help me help you. List requirements. They are all forms of insecurities. But it's time to take accountability for our own insecurities. It's time to really deep dive into who we are as people, what we bring to this world, what we bring to our relationships. What is my worth? These are things that we have to be accountable for. Because if we can't be accountable for that, how can we hold people accountable for hurting us? How can we hold people accountable for shattering every piece of us? We can't, because it starts with us. We can't hold anyone else accountable for trying to hurt us in the midst of hurting us unless we hold ourselves accountable for hurting ourselves for all these years. Holding all of these unprecedented expectations. We can't. Thank you for listening to Kimmy Tea of the Day, Season 2, Episode 6. Dos y Siete. Thank y'all. If you want to hit me up on IG, it is Kimmy Holder. If you want to hit me up on Facebook, it is Akeem Holder. Definitely, hit me up if you like what you see. Share my stuff. And if you really want to have great conversations or you just have any topic ideas you want me to hit me up. Let me know. Thank you for listening. Laters.